Alright guys, welcome to another vlog. Today is a push day. Feeling good today, caffeinated, had plenty of carbs. So let's head to the gym, and I will be explaining a lot of important stuff in this video regarding chest, shoulders and triceps. So make sure to watch it till the end. I'm sure you're going to find it extremely useful. So sit back and enjoy this informative vlog. Okay, so again, as you might have already seen in my previous vlog, we're going to start off with the simplest warm up ever, warming up the rotator cuffs, because if you don't warm them up, it's going to be a major reason why your shoulders are going to pain on your chest, shoulders and triceps days usually, because that's the muscle which actually helps you stabilize every single pushing movement, and it's absolutely necessary to warm it up. So with that being said, just warming up your rotator cuffs is going to be enough, and a few warm up reps of the same movement, of the movement which is going to be your main exercise, but just with lesser weights. Don't overcomplicate your warm up, as I've already said in my previous vlogs. So just going to follow the usual routine. Nice. Always focus on slow eccentrics, slow and controlled movements. Yes, good. Gradually going to increase the weight now. This is 3 kgs. Let's bump it up to 4.5. Yup, let's go. This is the usual stuff, guys. You all should already know this by now. Yes, that's good enough. Just gonna do one more warm-up set of this, and then I will move on to the main set, which is probably going to be of 7.5 kgs. So I'll see you during my main set. Okay, so I'm done with my warm-up sets, and now I'm gonna start with the main set, which was gonna be 7.5 kgs. I'm gonna start with my right arm first, because my right arm is the weak arm, and I believe there's a slight muscle imbalance in my right shoulder. So I am gonna pause when my right arm gives up, at the number of reps at which my right arm gives up, even though there is still some energy left in my left arm, because eventually it will balance it out. If I don't train my left shoulder till failure, it won't grow. And if I keep training my right shoulder till failure, it will grow. So it will eventually balance out, if you know what that means. So with that being said, let's start off with the main set of the first exercise. And here we go. One, good contraction, always slowly controlling the eccentric. Two, yup. Three, yup, that's good. Four, yup, that's good. Five, come on. Six, yes, feeling that deep stretch. Seven, ah, that feels amazing. Come on. Slow, eccentric, always. Gonna try for one more. Partials. That was a good set. I'm gonna aim for 8 reps with my left arm, and gonna stop at 8, even if I'm able to do 9. So let's go. One, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Ah, come on. I can easily do one more rep, but I'm not gonna, because I eventually want to balance it out. So, two more sets of this. Gonna reduce the weight in the next set. Well, that's because I want to stay in the hypertrophic rep range. So, I'm gonna do two more sets of this with the same intensity, and I will see you at the incline machine chest press, which is gonna be the next exercise. All right, guys. So we are done with cable lateral raises, and now we have moved on to the next exercise, which is going to be the main compound pressing movement of our push day. It is the incline chest press machine. So in the previous exercise, the stretch component was good and the contraction was real good as well, and I don't really feel like I have trained hard enough, but that's all right because I have to focus on reducing the muscle imbalance which I have in my left shoulder right now. So that's all right. And now we have moved on to incline chest press. So I just want to let you all know that the incline chest press is honestly the only pressing variation for your chest which you genuinely need. You don't need to do decline, you don't need to do flat. All you need is incline, because research has also proved, this is my warm up set by the way, research has also proved that the incline chest press machine or any variation of incline pressing stimulates as much chest fibers, if not more, than flat or decline. But it significantly recruits more upper chest muscle fibers than any of the other two variations, if you know what I mean. Which means, for aesthetic reasons, that is solely for the purpose of looking awesome with your shirt off, the incline chest pressing variation is going to be much better because it targets more of your upper chest fibers, which are usually the more visible part of your chest, as compared to flat bench or decline bench. Well, that is because it simply has to do with the total distance which your arms need to travel. In decline, your arms travel the least amount of distance because when the bar or the dumbbells come down, they touch your chest automatically, and that just reduces the distance. In flat, it's a little more, but when you're doing incline, it's much more than both of those variations. So the stretch component and the overall range of motion on your chest is much more in incline presses. So if your goal is purely bodybuilding and aesthetics, ditch decline presses and flat presses and prioritize incline presses. With that being said, let's move on to the first main set of incline chest presses. Okay, so we have finished with all our warm-up sets, and we have gradually progressed from 40 kgs, 45 pounds on each side to a total of 70 pounds on each side. So it's a total of 70 kgs, both arms mixed. Let's see how many reps I can do. I mean, I already know because I track my workouts, but what do you think? What do you think? How many reps will I be able to do? Just comment down below. So let's get started. Again, super intense, complete little failure, and a few partials at the end in the stretched position. Let's do this. One, two, three, four, five. Come on. Six, seven, eight. Oh, come on. That was intense. Got a few more, I guess. Nine. Come on. Whew. Yes, yes, yes. Whew. The pump when you get, if you Go completely down and take your muscle in its completely stretched state is just insane, guys. Seriously, if you'll skip the stretched portion of your exercise, you're not going to make gains as effectively as you could have. And in terms of bodybuilding, this is probably the most important factor. You shouldn't care about the weight at all. All you should care about is the total tension on your muscle. And even if the weight is really low, if you take your muscle to its complete range of motion and take it to its completely stretched state, the tension on your muscle is just going to be incredible. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Always take your muscle in its completely stretched state for the maximum growth. And now, I'm gonna do 2 more sets of this, and after this, we we're gonna we're gonna move on to overhead tricep extensions again to put our triceps in their completely stretched state. So I'll see you at tricep extensions. All right. So we are done with the incline chest press machine, and now we are going to move on to the first tricep exercise of our push day, which is going to be the overhead tricep extensions to target our triceps in their completely stretched and or lengthened state. Because as I've always said throughout my channel, that the stretched or the most lengthened position of your muscle is the most important position of any movement for hypertrophic gains. So keeping that in mind, we're going to start with 19.5 kgs. I'm going to aim for 10 reps. So let's get started with the first set. No warm-up sets for this because my triceps are already pretty much warmed up by the pressing movements. So let's get started. Oh, shit. One, completely stretched and lengthened state of the muscle. Two, again. Three, again. Never gonna skip this part. Four, five, come on. Six, seven, nine. I know I cheated my way, but that's all right. Slow eccentric again. I'm gonna try for one more because 9 reps is how much I did last time. That was a good set. That was a good set. Gonna keep the intensity high as usual. However, I'll have to reduce the weight in the next set because I want to stay in the 6 to 15 rep range for hypertrophy. So keeping that in mind, I'll do 2 more sets of this, and then we're going to move on to tricep pushdowns to target our triceps in their contracted state. So yeah, I'll see you during tricep pushdowns. Okay, so with that we have finished with overhead tricep extensions, and now I'm going to move on to, as I've already mentioned, tricep pushdowns for targeting my triceps in their completely contracted state. So if you'll see, there are 2 ways in which you can target your triceps. The one way, which I've already finished targeting my triceps, is the completely stretched position. That's when your elbows are near or over your forehead. That's because your long head of the triceps actually crosses your shoulder joint. So because it crosses your shoulder joint, your shoulder positioning actually affects the way your triceps work. So if you take your arm up, your long head of the tricep is automatically stretched. You can just feel it yourself. And if you take it back, your long head of the tricep feels super contracted. Even if you don't have any weights, just completely straighten your arm and try to take your arm behind. You'll feel a very strong peak contraction in your tricep. It's going to be like a super hard pinch, and that just proves my point that your triceps actually cross your shoulder joint. So keep that in mind while training your triceps, that your shoulder positioning actually matters. And well, the machine is actually occupied, so I'm waiting for the dude to finish his set. And after that, once he finishes his set, I will perform 3 sets of tricep pushdowns, and then we're going to move on to 2 sets of chest flies to really recruit the maximum amount of muscle fibers from our chest. Because if you notice in your any pressing variation, you don't really get the extension component of the chest, because when you just push the weight is just coming downward due to gravity. So there's no force on your chest at the top position. There's only force on your chest at the bottom position when the weight is pushing down, but your shoulders attached to your chest. However, in any fly movement, when your hand is ahead, the weight is going to pull your hand this way, which is why your chest is going to have to work more to keep your hand straight in front of you. Whereas that's not the case in any sort of pressing variation. So that's another point for you to keep in mind. And I'll see you when I'm doing my tricep pushdowns. 25.5 kgs. I'm not going to talk a lot right now because I've already spoken a lot. So let's get started. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Come on. 2 more, I guess. 2 to 3 more. 12. Come on, 2 more, 2 more. 13. I'm going to try for one more. That was an amazing set. All right, so I'm going to do 2 more sets of this with the same intensity. Probably going to keep the weight same this time because I did more than 12 reps. So I think I can still do 6 to 15 reps with the same weight. So not going to reduce the weight. And after this, we're going to move on to chest flies. So I'll see you at chest flies. All right. So here I'm going to start my first set of the 2 sets of the chest fly machine. Not going to go too hard, just going to increase the range of motion to the maximum, and that is what I would advise you to do, because obviously the stretch component is the most important phase of every movement. I don't know how many times I've said that, but that's like probably the most important factor for hypertrophy. So I'm always going to keep stressing on it. And now we're going to start off with the first set. So here we go. 1, slow eccentric, full stretch. 2, slow eccentric, full stretch. 3, controlled eccentric, full stretch. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Come on. 12. 1, 2. That was an intense set. Just gonna do one more set of the same exercise with the same intensity, and then we're gonna end our workout. Gonna do some flexing sessions. We'll see how our body looks, and I'll see you while I'm flexing. Alright, guys, so that was my workout for today. The overall volume which I lifted was almost as much as I lifted in the last session. So I would like to think that that was a good effort because I haven't been eating in a calorie surplus. However, my protein intake has been high. So maintaining the volume is actually pretty hard that way, but I'm pretty happy with that. And with that being said, I think I'll end the video right now. Subscribe if you liked the video, and if you want more such informative vlogs for back and biceps day or leg day, then comment down below. I mean, I'm anyways gonna upload them, so yeah, whatever. I think I'll see you in the next one then.